So kicking off episode 8 into this Borderlands Retrospective series, we gotta go over the Sandhawk, man. The beloved SMG of Borderlands 2 and probably wins the popularity vote with 90% of the weapons in the game. You don't really mention the best weapons in this game and not include the Sandhawk for multiple reasons that I'm going to be going over today. But let's take a deep dive into exactly why the Sandhawk became one of the most meta weapons in the entire Borderlands franchise. So per usual, I gotta kick it off with a little bit of backstory and facts about the Sandhawk that you may or may not know about. So let's go to where it all began on the great day of October 16th, 2022, when the Captain Scarlet and her Pirate Booty DLC released on PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. Wow, just saying that blows my mind that we're talking about a DLC release back on 360. That's crazy. Anyway, to obtain this Sandhawk, you would have to do a mission within that DLC, which is called Whoops, and it's where you, spoiler not spoiler, you gotta kill a guy with a bomb. You could choose to not kill him, completely up to you. You will turn this in and get a Sandhawk. The most popular way of farming this was dashboard farming on console, where you would see what prefix you got and completely dashboard, so you could come back in, turn the mission in once more, and get a better prefix. And typically the most sought after prefix was the flying prefix, as it helped with the projectile speed, because when it came to the Sandhawk, the projectile speed was just pretty damn bad, and it made up for it and made it feel a lot more usable. Now the Sandhawk, at least in Borderlands 2, we'll get into Borderlands 3 later in the video, consumes 3 ammo per shot, and it fires 8 moving projectiles in the form of a bird or hawk, hence the name Sandhawk. Yeah. Duh. And there's also a common misconception about the Sandhawk to where it has a limited range, which is honestly just false. The Sandhawk's projectiles will become transparent once they hit a certain distance, but they do not delete themselves. They will still hit an enemy even if you don't see the bullet/bird rendered in. They're always going to hit the target eventually. It's just a visual thing. I also made an episode in the series completely covering amp shields and more specifically the B shield, so if you want to check that video out before this one or after this one, click in the top right about now. It is very important that I bring up the B shield because the Sandhawk has what we call in the Borderlands series unlisted projectiles. Now if you look at the Sandhawk item card, it just says the amount of damage that it does, but it does not tell us that it shoots 8 projectiles whilst doing this damage. So every single projectile is going to be getting the full benefits of any amp shield in the game, and of course going by popularity and the best amp shields, obviously the B shield is going to be in tandem with this gun. Now in my gameplay, I'm not using the B shield, so I'm not even using it at its full potential. I get bored of the B, man. I get bored of it. I want to use other shields. There's other things you could do. The B shield isn't the only way to play the game, but like I said earlier, the flying prefix is very sought after, but not everyone wants it, because you have vault hunters like Maya with her accelerate ability or Zero with his velocity ability that allow them to just increase projectile speed without needing it on the weapon, meaning you could opt for different prefixes, giving yourself more damage since your skills make up for that. Another fun fact not a lot of vault hunters know about is if your Sandhawk spawns with a doll stock, you'll have an increased burst count. Yes, I am not lying. You will have a 4-round burst as opposed to a 3-round burst, and this is really good because it's just more DPS, and 90% of the time you probably use the Sandhawk with a doll prefix, not because you farm for it, but you may have downloaded a save file and you know, things get passed around. Don't lie, Borderlands community, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The unfortunate thing is some vault hunters don't utilize this as well as others, such as Gage not being able to use her close enough skill because it does not affect the projectiles. But I will say when it comes to Gage's Anarchy, the bullets will actually stay together and not kind of wave off, so not all 8 projectiles are going to wave away when you're using Anarchy. The whole bird projectile itself will just be a random split, making it a little bit easier to use on Gage, but still I think Gage has way more popular and powerful weapons in her arsenal. But I can't say the same for other vault hunters. I think Gage is just a outlier. I do believe Maya is the best with this gun, and you can't tell me otherwise. Sure, Boar, whatever. Boar works with any gun, but if we're talking about vault hunter specific weaponry, Maya with her cat class mod and a B shield, it's hard to beat, man. You're not going to beat Maya in the SMG battle. Now to get in a little bit of trivia, the red text is actually a reference to the phrase "in like Flynn" from the actor Errol Flynn, who starred in numerous pirate movies, including, notably, the Seahawk. Obviously, that is an interpretation and play on words to the Sandhawk SMG. For those that didn't know, now you know. But the Sandhawk is honestly one of the best weapons in Borderlands 2, and I can't hate on it whatsoever. Probably one of my favorite guns in the entire franchise, not only from a damage perspective, but the entire bird projectile and the bursting of a doll weapon where traditionally in Borderlands 2, dual weapons kind of suck. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, they do kind of suck, with the Sandhawk being one of the few exceptions, and it just makes a really damn fun gun. But transitioning into Borderlands 3, this actually turned into a sniper rifle, not an SMG, even though it uses the same amount of ammo because it does consume more ammo per shot. But it translated from a blue unique quest reward from Borderlands 2 into a legendary sniper rifle from a world drop and a boss drop into Borderlands 3, and you would obtain that from Katagawa Jr. If you don't remember, Katagawa's the dude that took Zero's tech and he teleports around and you one-shot him 90% of the time. It only drops on Mayhem 6 or above, so you do have to progress your way a little bit in Borderlands 3 to get it. The funny thing is, it does shoot the same amount of ammo per shot, like I said previously, which is 3 ammo per shot, but it is a sniper rifle, so you do not have the traditional 2700 ammo like you did in Borderlands 2 or even Borderlands 3. You have like a whopping 160, 180 bullets, and you're going to use it up pretty quick. In terms of projectile count, the bird was actually nerfed down a little bit from 8 projectiles down to 7 projectiles within the bird, which doesn't make sense because the sniper should do more damage and you would expect more projectiles, but that doesn't mean you should sleep on the Borderlands 3 Sandhawk whatsoever. This thing was a beast, even though the ammo was kind of shit. You can make up for it with certain relics or even Flak's gravity snare. Yes, Flak's gravity snare had a purpose and it was for ammo, but it wasn't always like that for the sniper Sandhawk in Borderlands 3. When it first released, it was a broken machine because it did not consume 3 ammo. It consumed 2 ammo at launch, which was really good, and it had 9 projectiles. So when I complained about the projectiles earlier, you could see why. So it had less ammo per shot, 2 more projectiles. I think it should have kept the projectiles and just, you know, switch the ammo, but I get it, I understand. And just for the record, this change was made on June 11th, 2020. Now, if I really had to compare the two, if you put the sniper Sandhawk into Borderlands 2, I do think it would still be a little bit better than the SMG Sandhawk. Hold on. Before the pitchforks come out, let me explain. Sniper Zero is so powerful as it is. If you put the sniper Sandhawk into Borderlands 2, Zero would break the game. I say this because people look at the Lyuda right now because they're like, yeah, the Lyuda has good projectiles, it has good damage. What do you think the Sandhawk does? The Sandhawk is the embodiment of the perfect sniper for Sniper Zero, especially with Boar with the bird flying through. It would simply be the best sniper in the game. I really think it would. I think the Sandhawk would break Borderlands 2, so I gotta give credit to Borderlands 3 Sandhawk. I think it's better than Borderlands 2 Sandhawk, but they're both great, and they both hold a special place in my heart in the series, even though they've been through some trials and tribulations, especially the Borderlands 3 one, because I do believe Borderlands 3 gave more of a shit about balance than Borderlands 2 did. The Borderlands 2 Sandhawk was so notable on Maya. I don't know why. Tell me in the comments down below, but usually it is Sirens using the Sandhawk the most. But why was it meta term? Why was it so meta? You were able to get a large ammo pool. You were able to amp each projectile with the B shield, and you were able to basically do anything you wanted with this gun, and it would do whatever content you want it to do. You had a raid boss, take it to the raid boss. You want to do a little bit of mobbing, it could do that. With the large ammo pool and the insane amount of damage, there really wasn't a downside with this gun, other than maybe using Gage and her Anarchy, and I think that's what made this gun so preferable over many other SMGs that were simply just poopy compared to this. You had the Doll Torrent, which was just a single bullet projectile version of the Sandhawk, and it sucked. You had the Last Cow, which was found in the pond, and I think the Last Cow was actually not that bad of an SMG, and I think it could kind of compete on the higher end. But if we're talking SMGs, nothing really competes with the good old Sandhawk. But you let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys like the Sandhawk, or is it another piece of overrated weaponry in the Borderlands series? Anyway, guys, I gotta head out. Gotta be playing some Diablo, so Borderlands videos might be a little slow, but I might be posting some Diablo videos depending how it goes. If you want to see more episodes of the Borderlands Retrospective series, there's a link in the description below and in the pinned comments if you want to check out more episodes while you wait for the other ones to release. And I really, really appreciate you guys supporting this series in its entirety, and I'm loving making all of these. And yeah, just thank you guys so much. You guys be safe. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like on it. It really helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on another video from me, and I'll see you all later.